Hey everyone, you are watching We Had That, and in this video I'm going to talk about the 1981 Star Wars Empire Strikes Back Ugnaught action figure. The original 12 Kenner Star Wars figures from the 1970s changed the toy industry. They were awesome, and I liked every single one. But the problem with having a popular toy line based on a movie is there are only so many characters from the movie that can be released. After action figures had been made for the main characters, Kenner started looking at alternative costumes and background characters. In my opinion, there really wasn't a single bad action figure from the first wave of Star Wars figures, and Power Droid was the only one that I didn't like much out of all of the figures released from the first movie. Realistically, I was so excited about most of the figures from The Empire Strikes Back that, much like Star Wars, the few figures that I didn't like were a minor footnote compared to most of the figures which I loved. Even in the later waves of The Empire Strikes Back, we still got great figures. The extremely cool Imperial TIE Fighter pilot was the last action figure from The Empire Strikes Back a couple of years after the first wave came out, and also the two bounty hunters, Forlome and Zuckuss, were only in the movie for a few seconds and didn't really do anything, so they weren't at the top of Kenner's list, but when they finally did come out, they made great action figures. On the other hand, my Ugnaught action figure didn't see much action. Ugnaught was first released on a 41 back card in 1981. Because of the name of the action figure on the card, I thought Ugnaught was the name of this specific character, not the name of the species. The Ugnaught species made their way into many Star Wars stories over the years, and their species was often described as one of the hardest working species anywhere. But I knew none of that as a kid. The Ugnaughts just seemed like very short, grumpy old men, busily going along their daily work while the fate of the universe was being shaped around them. I wanted all of the Star Wars figures back then, and although I didn't have them all, I did have an Ugnaught. I'm not sure why I chose him over my other options, but maybe he was a gift, or maybe there weren't any better figures the day that I got him. Regardless, he hung around with my Star Wars figures sometimes, but mostly just stood in the background, not doing much of anything. Now, I have a much greater appreciation for the character and the action figure than I did at the time. The Ugnaught action figure came with a white toolkit accessory. I used to think of it as a lunchbox. I'm pretty sure that I referred to it as a lunchbox going back to when I first got the figure. Although blasters and lightsabers were obviously cooler accessories, this unique piece was a welcome accessory for my Star Wars figures because there could be anything in there. Maybe it was a bomb. Maybe it was secret documents that Han Solo had to steal from the Empire. Maybe it was Luke's lunch. I believe I played with the toolkit as an accessory for the other figures more than I played with the Ugnaught figure itself. The figure also came wearing a blue apron. Many of the figures that you might find for sale today are missing the toolkit and the apron. In my opinion, the apron actually adds a good bit to the look of the character. Even though my childhood Ugnaught does still have his original apron, my apron has a hole in the middle. If memory serves, my dog got a hold of the figure for a minute back in the 80s and customized him for me. I don't remember being particularly concerned about the damage at the time, since the Ugnaught figure really wasn't one of my favorites. But the hole in the apron does bother me now as an adult collector. With the Mandalorian TV show featuring a likable Ugnaught character, I wonder if people will start picking up the old figures to make customs. So far, it seems like you can still find the vintage figures easily for relatively cheap, but this new appearance has certainly made me rethink the desirability of Ugnaught action figures when I see them available for sale. Did you have an Ugnaught action figure as a kid? If so, what did you think of the figure back then, and what do you think of him now? Tell me in the comments below. Also, please give this video a like and share it on social media. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe to my channel and hit that notifications bell so that you'll be notified when I post new videos. And one last thing, If you're a fan of toys, you should know about ToyLanta, the biggest toy show in the southeastern United States, held annually just north of Atlanta, Georgia. Visit ToyLanta.com for more information. As always, thanks for watching.